Well, welcome back, Epic Cars. Today we are going to be diving into the 2005 Excursion 6.0 liter diesel, and I am doing basically some base runs on 0 to 60 time. Measuring performance on this vehicle would probably be better served on a dyno, but I don't have access to a dyno real readily available, so 0 to 60 times seems pretty good baseline. Now, what am I doing? Well, I'm going to be installing a new exhaust system today on this 6.0. So, going to see kind of what it takes to put it all together, but also what kind of performance does it allow for. So, we're going to do some 0 to 60 runs here in a second and see how it goes. 0 to 60. Stock 6.0, four-wheel drive. I'll let the engine warm up a little bit. It's 44 degrees out. All right, we just hit 60. So it said 0 to 60 in 9 seconds. It's not bad for a vehicle this size. What I'm trying to do here is just get a baseline of a completely stock 6.0 diesel Excursion. This is the four-wheel drive limited, so it's got almost every option, probably as heavy as you can get it to be in stock format, and absolutely nothing has been done to this engine. Drivetrain, it's even got the same size tires on it that would come from factory, so no modifications whatsoever. So let's do another run and see what it looks like. Okay, the accelerator all the way down. There's 60. So I did that in 8.7 seconds. So got a little bit better time on that one. Another thing I'd like to try is, does it go any faster 0 to 60 in the tow haul mode? I don't think it will. I mean, I know in the tow mode it holds gears a little bit longer, so I'm kind of curious to see if that makes any difference whatsoever in a 0 to 60 time. I don't think it will, but let's just test it out here. Well, that didn't work right. 9.8 seconds is what it's saying now, so I don't think that's right, guys. All right, we're gonna try this again. I'm gonna hold the timer this time. I think it'll, I set it on the console that last test. So I'm still in tow haul mode. All right, 9.2 in tow haul, and I was holding it. So I don't know if that has anything to do with anything really, as far as performance, but for some reason it was slower when I put it in my console rather than when I was holding it. Okay, so I've got, I'm back in my original position where I got a 9-second 0 to 60. It is not in tow haul mode, and I've got a little bit more of a straighter shot to take off here. So I'm gonna hold the phone this time. Let's do one more run. It's about 46 degrees now, and nail it. Okay, it is floored. Boost kicked in right there. All right, that's much better. I got an 8-second that time. So pretty much, let's see, I had a 9.2, I had an 8-second. So let's just say 8.5. It seems to be pretty good for a stock 0 to 60 time, stock exhaust. Now we'll put the new exhaust on and see if it makes any difference. All right, guys, so here's the exhaust system. It's a MBRP, and I got it from Wheelwell. It's a website, wheelwell.com, car enthusiast website. They sent me a coupon for a couple $100 off anything over, I think it was over $300. It was a great coupon. I've never ordered anything on Wheelwell before. What I liked about this system, rather than the Diamond Eye, this is a little bit better quality than Diamond Eye, a little bit more expensive, and then with the $200 off from Wheelwell, I popped on it. I will say that I'm not sponsored by Wheelwell in any way, shape, or form, and I'm not sponsored by MBRP. I went out and bought this just like anybody else, and we'll put it on. It is a turbo back exhaust system, and I believe it's a 4-inch if I remember correctly, but I'll measure here in a second. All right, so this is the entire system. It is a 4-inch mandrel bent with a 5-inch tip, and I would say comparable to the Diamond Eye. It does feel a little bit more heavier grade as far as the pipes are concerned, and then, you know, little simple touches. That's got the MBRP logo stamped on it, same thing on the tip. And I don't remember exactly why I bought this one versus the Diamond Eye. There must have been some reason. It may have been price. I think I actually got this one for cheaper. It was a more expensive system than the Diamond Eye, but I actually got it cheaper because of the $200 off coupon that We Will sent me. So, looks like a pretty good system. It's got all the clamps and hangers. It's got some instructions in there that I'll dig into. The main thing I'm a little concerned about is the turbo is really hard to get to on these Excursions. It's in the very back of the engine bay. So getting access to that to be able to put the downpipe on could be interesting, but we'll see how it goes. Give you a little before and after shot here. So this is the tip. It's a 5-inch tip going to a 4-inch exhaust. Now, what's interesting about this is actually what's on the Excursion itself right now looks to be a 3-inch. So it's got a pretty good exhaust system on it already, but I think adding that extra inch all the way from the turbo back, getting rid of the cat, putting that different muffler on, that's obviously probably a little bit less restrictive than the stock system, I think will work. And of course, having this polished end on the back will make it look pretty good too. And it's got a little angle cut to it, so I think it'll kind of dress it up a little bit. There's just kind of another shot of the undercarriage. It's just got, you know, surface rust everywhere, but overall, I mean, this truck's only got 80-something thousand miles on it, so it's in really, really good condition. And I'm excited to see what the difference is going to be on performance with this new system in. All right, so I got the first clamp here undone, and really that's all that's holding on the exhaust system from the converter all the way back, other than just the exhaust hangers themselves. And so what I typically do, and what did I do with it? I get a pry bar. Oh, it's right over there. You can get access to it, and then just pry them off using the frame as kind of your back support. One thing to always look at too on these hangers is if you can get the top one off versus the bottom one, that's fine. You're going to take down the entire system anyways, and so you can just get that hanger off once it's on the ground if you're having a harder time getting it off the bottom versus what what's attached to the frame. I kind of did the same thing back here, just used what I could to get that hanger off. And then one of the little tricks that I've picked up over the years is if you have access to a strap, just put a strap on it as close as you can, put it in between the two access points, and then just start ratcheting back, and it'll pull it enough to where you can get that off. So you can see I just ratcheted it a little bit and it came right off, and you don't have any drama. You don't scrape your knuckles or anything like that. Works good. Okay, I'm having trouble getting the exhaust out just because of the bends. I cut off one of the exhaust hangers because I really didn't want to cut into this exhaust system. You know, maybe sell it to somebody else, or I don't know, just hold on to it. But it looks like I'm going to have to cut it off. I just can't make enough bends to make this happen. So go ahead and just get my cutoff wheel here. Probably the best place to cut it is going to be right in this area, so I have access to both sides. So I'm going to move my light a little bit, put it in arm's way, and then just start cutting. Bad thing about these 20-volt max lithium ions, man, they don't last very long. I mean, kind of pieces of junk in my opinion. So when your cutoff wheel runs out of battery, you don't have another one. Your Sawzall, I have no metal blades whatsoever. All I have is wood blades. What do? You break out the plasma cutter, of course. One of the other things I like to do when I'm putting on a new part to a vehicle, just mainly out of my own curiosity, is I weigh it. So that is the entire brand new exhaust system on that scale. And it comes in just at 60 pounds 9 ounces. So what I'll do is once I have all of the old system off, I'll weigh it also, and just curious to see how much weight savings we get with this, or maybe we don't. Maybe it's actually going to be more. Okay, so I got just a couple of, or I guess 3 of the components off the truck so far, the catalytic converter, muffler, and the tailpipe, and just put them on the scale just to see, and it's 60.4, so I think the last one was 60.9. You know, just those 3 components weigh almost as much as that entire system. Now I do have what I would call the downpipe, and it goes all the way up into the back of the turbo. It is again my assumption, I haven't dug into it, but it's a pretty long piece. It's probably a 4-foot long piece of pipe that's going to be added onto that, so there's a good chance you know, this whole entire system is going to come in at probably 70 pounds or so maybe, and so that's about a 10-pound weight savings off of what the existing stock one is. Now, as I've done with all my vehicles when I do an exhaust swap, let's start it up. All it has is the downpipe, no muffler. What do I do with my keys? No muffler, no cat, no nothing. It's just straight out of the turbo downpipe. So here we go. I like that. Turbo's cool. Man, that sounds awesome. I'm not sure I want to put on the rest of the exhaust system. Well, I don't want to put it back on now. It sounds so good, but I probably have to put something back on. I guess maybe one of the questions could be, what if I don't put all of it back on? What if I just come out of the downpipe with the straight pipe muffler and then have it, then maybe get a downturn, you know, just and have it come out underneath the truck. I don't know, I'm half tempted to do that because that sounded phenomenal. Okay, so I've got the Excursion back down on the ground. Looking at the actual engine compartment, there is a clamp on the back of the turbo. It actually doesn't look too bad in order to get to it. The top bolt is fairly easy, and then, you know, getting up to it is going to be a little bit of a challenge because it's actually on the lift. So I backed it up a little bit to give me a little bit more space up here. I'm going to put a little platform on the side here that allows me to get up there high enough to get back to it. Because the platform raises it off the ground, oh, it's probably a good 5 inches taller than normal. And then because it's so far back there, so you can kind of see right here where I'm pointing is where the turbo is. So it's kind of back underneath this little cowl thing, but I think I can get to it. Now the only thing I'm doing now is I'm letting the exhaust pipe cool off a little bit because I just started it up to back it up. Let it cool down for 5 minutes or so and it should be fine. While I'm letting that Excursion cool down a little bit, here's the 53 CJ3B Willys. Guys, it just sold on Bring a Trailer. Literally like, I don't know, 10-15 minutes ago. I went inside to grab some lunch and kind of watched the action at the end there. And it sold to a guy, I think, out in California. Goodbye, and or I say goodbye for Bring a Trailer, and goodbye, buddy. You've been fun. Okay, guys, as you can see, there is the turbo on the back of the engine. There's the downpipe, and so there's a clamp that goes in there. I'm hoping, now that I look closer, yeah, there's only one bolt, and so let me change my mode here. I can spotlight that. See that bolt right there on the top? It's just basically a hose clamp that comes together, so I don't have to worry about getting my hands in there. All I have to do is undo that one bolt, and it should just slip right out of there. All right, so it's time for gymnastics. Got this little platform that you can get at Lowe's, Home Depot. They're not that expensive, and man, they come in handy in situations like this. All right, got it loose. There's like a plastic shroud on top of this engine compartment. Just take your time, and you know, you got to do a little gymnastics to get back in there with your hand, but it's not too bad. All right, so I can't get that this side of the O clamp that goes around back of the turbo onto that downpipe, and the downpipe goes down. I can't get the side that's closest to me off. So I took an old tent stake I had laying around here. It's pretty strong metal, and bent the tip. And essentially what the what I'm going to use this for is the O-clamp is sitting in there like this around the pipe. Well, I got this side off, so that side is back because I was hitting it with a screwdriver, taking it back this way, but this side is still on. And so I'm hoping to kind of catch that underneath the lip and then be able to pry it off using the leverage of this little, I guess, handmade tool, customized tool. So we'll see if it works. I'm not sure it will, but hopefully it does. That'd be great. Well, it worked. So guys, if you're having a hard time getting that clamp off, just take something, kind of I didn't quite put a 90 in it. I put a little less than a 90. And essentially what I did was I'm just put it up against, let me get a better view here. Put it up, so here's the turbo. So I put it up against the turbo housing and just pried it back, and it popped right off. So cool little tool that I'm just gonna hold on to, put in one of my junk drawers. And if I ever need a prying device, I got one available. So now all I got to do is take that downpipe down, take the rest of the clamp off. It's just kind of on the bottom, and then the downpipe should just come straight down underneath, and then I can fish the new one back up in there. Okay, I got it loosened. So basically all I did was come down here and just kind of shake the pipe a little bit, and that clamp came undone. The main issue now is, as you can see, or you may not be able to, it goes way up there and there's a lot of bends in it, and it comes back down to this straight piece right here. Well, it goes past the cross member, and it's on top of the cross member, and there's no way for me to be able to get the angle on it that I need to pull that down with the cross member in it. Now what I did though is I came over here and looked at the actual aftermarket system. That right there is actually the downpipe that goes into the back of the turbo. So that flange goes in the back of the turbo. And what's nice about this is it's two pieces. So I'm gonna have to cut that piece, the downpipe that goes all the way back to this cross member. I'll just cut it with the plasma cutter. So I'm gonna cut it in half to where I can get it out easily, and then the other one goes in as two pieces, so it'll be a lot easier to install. That's the only bad thing about four post lifts is the platform gets in your way. So it'd be nice to have a 2-post, but I just feel a lot safer with these 4 posts. I think I got most of that. I got it enough to where I think I can bend it. Alright guys, so I got the entire stock exhaust system on this scale now. I got the downpipe and everything. And it comes in at 73.4. So again, if I remember correctly, that was 69 for the whole system. So that's about 4 pounds heavier. Kind of shocking. I mean, you're going to a bigger, I think a heavier grade tubing and bigger pipe, but that cat, it is pretty heavy, so I'm sure that makes up a lot of the difference. That's where we're at now. I just got to put it all back together. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the video there, mainly because this is getting to be a really long video and I want to keep it at least under 20 minutes if I can. So I'm going to cut it here, and I'm going to have a second video of the actual full install and then the testing of the exhaust system and the 0 to 60 times after that. So guys, thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for the next video coming out really soon, probably in the next week. I'm really excited about the 6.0 diesel. Because everybody, it seems like, hates the 6.0. I don't. But we'll fix it up, see what kind of power we can get out of it, see what kind of responsiveness we can get out of it, and go from there. So guys, appreciate it. God bless. Take care.